When Daniel Hart returned home unexpectedly that evening, he expected to find his daughter Emma quietly waiting for dinner, just as she did every night. Instead, the moment he stepped through the grand entrance of his mansion, he heard a sharp crash from the living room followed by a frightened cry. His heart stopped. "Emma," he shouted, rushing toward the sound. Daniel was a wealthy businessman who owned luxury hotels across the country, but none of his money mattered when it came to his 8-year-old daughter. Emma had lost her eyesight after a childhood illness, and ever since, Daniel had lived with one terrible fear, that someone would hurt the little girl while he wasn't there. He had hired several nannies over the years, but none had stayed longer than a few months. As Daniel reached the living room, he froze. Emma was standing near the edge of a glass coffee table, trembling, while the new nanny, Sophia, had thrown herself between the child and a tall wooden cabinet that had partially collapsed. Sophia was holding the cabinet with one hand and shielding Emma with the other. A broken vase lay scattered across the floor. "Don't move, sweetheart," Sophia whispered calmly. "I'm right here. You're safe." Daniel stared in disbelief. "What happened?" Sophia looked toward him, breathing heavily. The cabinet was loose. Emma heard it moving, but she couldn't see where it was coming from. "I heard the crack and pulled her away just in time." Daniel immediately rushed to his daughter. "Emma, are you hurt?" The little girl shook her head and reached for Sophia instead. "She saved me, Daddy." Daniel looked at Sophia again. Something about the scene didn't make sense. The cabinet was extremely heavy. He had inspected that room himself only days earlier. "How did you know it was falling?" he asked. Sophia hesitated. "I heard the wood bending." Daniel's expression changed. "You heard that from across the room?" Before Sophia could answer, Emma suddenly grabbed her hand. "Daddy, don't be angry with Sophia. She always protects me." Those words struck Daniel harder than anything else. He had spent months believing his daughter needed expensive doctors, special technology, and constant supervision. But this young nanny had discovered something he had completely overlooked. Emma didn't need someone to pity her. She needed someone who believed she could be brave. Later that night, Daniel secretly watched Sophia guide Emma through the hallway without holding her arm. Instead, Sophia gave simple verbal directions, allowing Emma to navigate independently. 3 steps forward. Now turn slightly left. Your favorite chair is right ahead. Emma smiled proudly when she reached it. Daniel's eyes filled with emotion. For the first time, he realized Sophia wasn't treating his daughter like someone fragile. She was teaching her to trust herself. But Daniel had no idea that the falling cabinet was not an accident. Someone had loosened it deliberately. And Sophia had already discovered the truth. Before leaving the room, Sophia looked toward the dark hallway and whispered, "I know who did it." Daniel heard every word. He stepped from the shadows. "Then tell me." Sophia turned pale. "Mr. Hart, if I tell you, everything you believe about this house will change." Daniel stared at her, realizing that the nanny he had hired only weeks ago might have just saved his daughter's life, and uncovered a secret hiding inside his own family. If you want to discover the shocking truth behind Sophia's secret and what happens next, make sure to subscribe to the channel and stay with us for the next emotional story.